Kevin offers a service helping people relocate to Vietnam. So towards the end of the episode, I'll plug that in. I'll also leave a link to Kevin's channel. But with that said, so Kev, walk us through why Vietnam? How did you end up here, bro? Of all places, I mean, you could have done Japan, China, Philippines. Why Vietnam?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, bro, I was just traveling the world. I mean, it kind of I got lucky.
Alright guys, welcome. Another episode of the Making It Abroad podcast. I'm super excited, got a special guest. I know that I say that every episode, but this really is a special guest. The reason why, when I first moved to Vietnam, I was online looking at different YouTube channels, trying to get information about life in Vietnam. And my guest today just so happens to have his own YouTube channel. So we have teacher, YouTube channel, business owner, my boy Kev. Kev, welcome, brother.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Glad to have you, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Kev, would you like to give a quick introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so I hope you guys can hear me. My name is Kevin. I'm from San Diego, California. And yeah, man, I've been in Vietnam for 6 years. Started my catering company back in the U.S. It's called Kevin's Bartending and Event Services. 20 years ago, man. So I can't believe it, you know. But yeah, I've been living in Vietnam 6 years. Started my YouTube channel about 18 months ago. So yeah.
Damn, 6 years. It's been a long time, man.
Yeah, the time goes quick, man.
Prior to coming to Vietnam, was Vietnam the first place you lived abroad, or had you lived in other countries beforehand?
Yeah, so before I came to Vietnam, I was traveling the world.
Okay.
So I legit was a backpacker.
Okay.
And so I went from San Diego I lived in the Netherlands.
Okay.
I lived in Haarlem. So that's about 10 minutes west of Amsterdam, right over the...
Harlem.
Yeah.
So when I hear Harlem, I think of Harlem as in New York, Harlem.
Yeah, I didn't stutter. You know, I said Haarlem.
Harlem.
Yeah,
okay.
Haarlem. Haarlem.
Okay,
Yeah.
Harlem.
Yeah, Harlem.
Right.
The original Harlem. So, you know, New York was, like Manhattan was founded by the Dutch.
I didn't know that.
So they gave Harlem the name because back home was Haarlem. So they just took off one A and yeah.
Okay, I just learned something new. Okay,
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
So going back, take me back to the beginning. So you was in America, you had your company.
Mm-hmm.
What first sparked the idea to start traveling?
Man, it was like a 5-year dream before.
Okay.
Right? So this all started 5 years before I ever left. So I left when I was like 35.
Okay.
When I was 35. Around 29, 30. I said, man, I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
Yeah, man.
I was tired 5 years before this. And so I'd lived in Mexico when I was 30. I loved it. Just right over the border. So it's kind of cheating, you know what I'm saying?
How long were you in Mexico for?
I lived there for about a year.
Nice.
Over a year.
Which part?
Tijuana.
Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah, TJ. So
I haven't been to Mexico yet, but it's on my plans.
So San Diego and TJ are like, they border each other.
Okay.
So I lived, even when I was in San Diego, I lived 15 minutes from Mexico. And like just right there, boom. We'd always go over there and go party and have a good time. But yeah, it was cool, man. Yeah, it was cool. So the dream started 5 years before. And man, I was so busy with my catering business that I just had to hustle. So it took me 5 years to really stop again and go, you know what? I really am tired this time. And now I've had my passport for 4 years.
Okay.
Let's get out of here. So one day I just woke up, man. I was just literally, it was like January. I'll never forget it. My dog died. I had a dog in the States. So she died. And at that moment, she like died in my arms.
Damn.
And so I remember that I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this rat race. I'm done having people like directing people to do this and this and that and this and that. And so, and I didn't really have a time off, you know, like if you're familiar with hospitality, catering, you're always working.
It's intense.
Yeah. And I'm the boss. So I'm legit either working an event or going to an event or in the office, fielding calls with my directors I had in there.
Okay.
So it was kind of crazy, man. I was like, man, every month I'd look at the bill at the end of my balance sheet, and I'd have a thousand, 2,000 left over after paying everybody.
Damn.
It was ridiculous, but we would make 10, we would make 15, we would make 20,000.
Make 10, 15, 20, but only keep 1 or 2,000.
Correct.
So I'm guessing the work didn't justify the means for you.
Well, at that point, and so I would have a couple of thousand saved up. When I sold everything, I sold my car and all that stuff. I had probably like $10,000 after that. So from April, so my lease ended in April. I ended up I had a Kia Sorento at the time. I thought that shit was awesome. The Kia Sorento SUV. It was fully loaded. I got into it. I packed it all up. Things were high. My lease ended, and then I went on a road trip for 6 months. So I did the van life for 6 months.
Okay.
And so I went
around the States?
Yeah. Saw friends, saw some family. People thought I was crazy. And I knew, because I had already purchased my ticket to the Netherlands. So I already knew I was leaving in October. So I never felt so free in my life. It was scary. Yeah, it was scary. But I'm a risk taker. I like taking risks. I like to, because I know that in the end, because at that point I was in business for probably 13 years.
Okay.
12, 13 years. And I knew that I took the risk of starting the business, but then I ended up making it. Even though I wasn't happy at that point, I made it. I was my own boss for 12, 13 years at that point. I had people answering to me, so that felt good. I put, food on people's plate, It was stressful, but I did it, and I accomplished that. And I knew, like, when I left after that 6 months, I just got on the road, and all I had to do was just find a shower, and find a place to sleep, or with my car, find a place to sleep, find some food, and a shower, and that's it.
Brother, before we get back to Netherlands, you said a few things I'd like to unpack there. It's such an interesting story so far.
Come on.
But I do have one question. The first thing that pops to mind is, so I'm not American, I'm from the UK. So for me, having a passport is just so normal. Like, I've had a passport since I was a kid. Most of my friends have always had a passport. But when I meet all my American friends from my traveling, this topic always comes up, the topic of having to apply to get your passport. I've met so many American friends where they'd be in their 20s, 30s, sometimes even 40s, still not with a passport. So explain the dynamics to me there, because that's something completely foreign to me. When I think, what? You don't have a passport? Are you 20, 30? Yeah. How does it work in America with that?
Yeah, man. So we're not used to getting our passports.
Okay.
Because America's the best, America great, yeah?
Okay.
So again, we have 50 countries in our proximity. Like, why would we go? This is the mentality. Why would we go anywhere else? We have everything there. So it's not really pushed on us, to be honest.
Okay.
To be honest, they push a lot of really cool areas in the States, but yeah, I mean, it's 50 countries. I mean,
it makes sense.
And so U.S. citizens don't consider themselves having to go get a passport.
Okay.
Why would I leave? Why would I leave? This place is dope.
Especially when you have so much even different geography within your own country.
Yeah, 100%.
From the beaches of Miami, Florida to the mountains of Montana. It's so different.
Yeah, 100%.
Makes sense.
So, growing up in Southern California and growing up in like the mecca of like Hollywood and all that stuff, and then but the little brother growing up, San Diego, growing up there, it's you get used to that stuff, You're like, I'm good, And growing up, I didn't realize how good we had it because I just didn't know the world like that when I was younger. In my 20s, like, I've always been really good at geography and knowing countries outside. So that always fascinated me. So I think when I was younger, like 10 and younger, I was fascinated with the world. I love the world. I think the world is a great place. You know, it's not just about the USA. You know, so I understood that a long time ago.
Interesting.
That you know, we had it good. We have it good, but you just don't really realize that growing up until you're an adult and you're like, oh dang, you know.
There's so much more.
Yeah, I gotta pay rent, man. You know, I gotta pay rent.
Trust me, speak on it, bro. You know, and you know what? Something you said as well. I think when it comes to entrepreneurship, so you was running your catering company for so long. I feel like online, we always see the highlight reels of entrepreneurship, the highlight reels of business. But it's a grind, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And I try to tell people, business is not sexy, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks sexy online and on TV, but the real day-to-day, it's not sexy. It's a bitch, man. It's a grind.
Nobody's there for you.
100.
Nobody. I try to, and it's funny because it's kind of similar with this YouTube thing as well. You know, in the business, you have people you grew up with, right? And for whatever reason, they just don't support. I mean, I'm not looking at financial support. I'm talking about you know, support, emotional support, right? Because this shit is difficult. You know, no one told me how difficult, you know, starting from scratch a business would be. You know, I didn't have any mentors. You know, I just have the will, you know, and the ideas, and I execute it. You know, I could have done better, yeah, for sure, but that's why this time around here in Vietnam, I'm gonna do things better. You know, because I realized what my shortcomings were and my shortfalls were, and one of them was like not delegating fast enough. You know, so that was one of my biggest things, my Achilles heel. But I didn't understand it back then, you know? And so now I understand it, and now I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm super happy that back then I got my passport and that I was able to have a dream, you know? Because having that damn passport is everything. It's everything. So I'm an anomaly. Not many Americans, or I should say U.S. citizens, have a passport, which to me I find is, you know, absurd. I find it's crazy.
Same, it always blew my mind. Every American friend I've ever met or spoken to abroad has always said to me that most people back home don't have a passport.
Yeah.
And that always blew my mind. But speaking to you now, it makes more sense. Like growing up, when you have so much on your own doorstep, and plus culturally, you said it's not really pushed to travel when you feel like we have everything here.
100.
So that makes a lot of sense. And there's something you said when you said your Achilles heel with learning that not delegating fast enough. That's probably one of the biggest life lessons I've learned as well. And that's my number one business, my business acronym, my number one business ethos is speed. Everything needs to be done quickly now.
I know.
I realized for myself, I probably, in other business ventures I had when I was younger, I'll get into it later, but lack of speed of execution really held me back.
100.
And when I say fast, that doesn't mean do it shit. Like you can do things quickly, but still to a good enough standard. So for me, speed is everything. Even with starting this podcast, this YouTube channel, I had the thought, and I thought, okay, gotta get a new phone, gotta get lights, gotta get guests. Everything was just speed. And that's literally the ethos I live by now.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's important to have that delegation, but also you can't delegate if you don't know where you're going.
100.
You know? And so for me, that's kind of what it was, you know? Like I knew all I had time for was just to steam ahead, and I didn't take a step back, you know, as often as I should have, you know? I should have taken a step back and, you know, manage the business as opposed to being in the business, you know?
100%. Say it again, manage the business rather than being in the business.
Yeah, it was. So those are two things. Like right now, I'm on the grind mode. I'm on the let's figure it out so I can teach people how I want it, you know? And so that's where I'm at, you know, in my journey of business now, at these ventures, and for YouTube as well. Right? And so, but yeah.
So tying it back, so you left the business, did the road trip. How did we go from the road trip to landing in Harlem?
Harlem. Yeah, good. So I had already booked my ticket to Harlem 6 months before.
Okay.
So I was already going. So I was leaving out of Los Angeles, but I just drove the country. It was like the first vacation I ever had in like a real one, and in like probably 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And but you know, the catering business, it takes you all over the place. So it's taken me all over the place. So I've kind of had a work staycation, a workcation or whatever. And so I'll go work in Texas, and then I'll stay a couple days and have a little holiday. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, it was. I already knew I was gone. You know, I already booked my ticket, so I was like, I was free. Like, I felt so free. Like, all that, I still had that pressure of like, just, you got to make it. You got to do this. You got to be this. You inward. You ain't going to be this. You ain't going to do that. All that noise was in my head, you know, back then. And, man, I don't know, man. I just wanted to just have fun.
Where do you think that came from, that inner voice? Is it from own self-doubt and insecurities, or is it more from hate that you hear from other people?
100% more self.
Okay.
You know, 100%, because, you know, we grow up, you know, it hasn't always been easy, you know, growing up, but it was, for me, it was, I always had to, because I didn't grow up with a dad, you know, so I knew how to be a man through a woman's eyes. And so I had to redefine what a man looked like, right? I had father figures and stuff growing up, but they weren't my dad, you know what I'm saying? I didn't come out of you, boy, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And so for me, it was more of, I've always faced that self-doubt. It's like, can I really make it? Can I really do this? You know, but on the outside, it's like, it's, damn, dude, you're an extrovert, you know? You're like, you know everybody. And I'm like, yeah, but I still don't have a lot of people in my life that boost me up. You know what I mean? And I think that's where it comes from too, is like, I've always had to boost myself. You know, I always had to just go rather than, you know, and I do have people now that are in my life that have come back around, you know, that are like family and that support, and I can just talk to them, you know what I mean? And what I'm facing. So that's been the biggest thing in my life, is just, you know, I don't have the biggest support system, but they're there for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's something I can relate to as well. Like you, I didn't grow up with a father in the home too. I think a lot of my friends, it's not anything special. I mean, this story happens to us a lot, especially with a lot of black men. Not that it doesn't happen with other races as well.
Right.
But I mean, I can only speak from my perspective. And for me, one thing I noticed with me, my cousins, a lot of my friends growing up, I felt like growing up without a father in the house, like you said, you learn how to be a man from a woman's perspective.
For sure.
And shout out to mom, because, you know, they do their best. They do their
100%.
best. But growing up, one thing I've realized, maybe I might get backlash saying this, but it is what it is. This is what I truly believe.
Bet.
Your mom will try will try her best, but a woman can't raise a man.
No, I
She
totally
can't
agree.
raise a man. And that's one thing I don't care. It is what it is. A woman cannot raise a man. She can try her best, but she can't raise a man.
Yeah, I agree.
And from my perspective, growing up, I realized me and everyone around me who didn't grow up with a dad either grew up too aggressive or too emotional. And in a way, they're kind of the same thing, really. They're kind of the same thing.
For sure.
And I had to teach myself how to be a man, and it just came through a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
And coming back to the self-doubt thing, you said, I battled a lot with self-doubt myself growing up. And that manifested itself in so many different ways.
Yeah, no
I've
doubt.
often said, I had to like be my own biggest cheerleader, you know what I mean? My own support system. So I remember being in school, being super arrogant. I think I was trying to overcompensate from the lack of self-confidence I had. And then somewhere along my journey, it flipped. I went from being overly self-arrogant to having no confidence at all.
Okay,
And then in the last, I'd say, decade, it's been a journey of balancing out and finding true, pure confidence.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm doing well right now, but the trial and error it took to get there,
Yeah,
it was a
know.
bitch,
I
man.
know,
I'll be
bro.
real with you. It
Yeah,
was.
I
I
know.
relate.
Yeah, I've always been a very humble person. I've had, I mean, it's been, I guess growing up with a mother who's from the country. She's a country girl, and she's an inspiration to me because she went from this little town on the East Coast in Virginia. I mean, the sticks, and I don't know how and why, but she traveled all the way to Big Bad California and made a new life for herself. And so that was like me moving to Vietnam, right? And I admire her for that because she just said, "F this, I'm gone." And I think that's kind of what I get from, my mom instilled in me discipline. My mom instilled in me be good to people, be humble, don't get too high, baby. Don't get too high and don't get too low. Stay right here.
Respect.
I said, all right, what does that mean? I didn't know what the hell that meant, and so, no matter how, no matter how great people say, hey, Kev, great content. I see the numbers going up. You're doing really great. Da da da. It's like, I just stay right here because I know that, people can depend on me, and I know that once we get there, then we can have fun. You know what I mean? But getting there, you're never gonna get there. Just enjoy the journey.
100%, bro. I agree completely. And I often thought I'm not too sure what getting there even means to me right now. Right now, I'm at a point where it's more about who I become along the way.
Right.
Yeah, I have a certain philosophy. I'll share it with you. Tell me what you think. Before, I used to think, what do I have to do in order to have the things I want to have? Then in order to be the person I want to be. So it was like, do, have, be. But recently, I've been kind of reverse engineering that. And I'm thinking, who do I need to be first? And then what actions do I need to do off that person in order to have the things I want to have? So for me, my whole philosophy now is whatever I want in life, I need to be that. Just be it, embody it, see myself as that first. So like you said, I'm not sure what making it is or what being there is, but right now I'm just enjoying the journey, man, and I'm enjoying seeing the person I become along the way.
Yeah, 100%, man. I agree with you. I definitely think that being present is the key, right? You can't be present everywhere, right? I'm not at home with my lady right now. I'm right here, right? But how you can be present is just showing up for people. Like you can't. People understand that you're busy. People are busy. 70% of that busy is in our mind. Okay, 30.
Bravo.
30% of that is actually going to work and whatever. I've always had a mentality of don't make excuses, just get her done. And that's kind of kept me grounded. Especially in my my early 40s, and so I'm 41, so in my early 40s, and so all through my 30s, I feel like all through my 30s, I it's so difficult to put something on it on the 30s because it went like that. Like the last thing I remember is I was 29, and then 10 years I remember obviously from 35 on, but like that from 30 to 35, I'm like, what did I do? And it was all business. It was just go, and that's what I mean. Like I needed to take a step back and get my life back, reclaim that, because I was moving too fast. I couldn't even remember what I was doing.
Was this the backpacking era?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I still can't remember. I don't know what happened between 30 and 35.
Okay. So from Harlem, Netherlands, at that point, was it just literally just bouncing around the world?
So I lived in Harlem for 10 months, 11 months. I ended up starting my catering company in the Netherlands.
Or you started a catering company in
In
the
the Netherlands
Netherlands?
as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was at that time it was an easy €50 registration business. Show your documents from registration in the US and then you can come in 50 euros and you're good, you know? And so there's a process though, right? There's a process of that. So that was part of the visa. But I ended up leaving in the middle of that process. I ended up leaving because I met a girl. You know,
It's always the
you know,
case.
let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep it a buck for you. You know what I mean? And so I went on a trip. So when I was living in the Netherlands, I went all over Europe, man. I hit every country in Western Europe, pretty much every country in Southern Europe. I hit probably about 3 or 4 countries in Eastern Europe and then Southeast. But
Before you go, and this might be hard to answer,
Sure.
but in Europe, do you have a favorite country? Is there any place that sticks out to you that's the place?
yeah, a couple of them. So Athens, Greece,
Athens, Greece, okay.
and Rome, Italy.
Yeah, why?
Well, and Paris as well. I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're the first person
Yeah, to
I've
be
ever
honest,
met
yeah. I
that
love
actually
Paris.
says good things about
I
Paris.
absolutely love Paris.
Everyone I talk to about Paris just says it's dirty, it's nasty,
No,
people are
absolutely,
rude.
shoot.
Really?
Yeah, dude,
You're
yeah.
actually the first person I've met who
Really?
says something good about
I love-
Paris.
I
Sorry, the Parisians out there.
I mean, there's a few cities like, and of course Berlin as well because Berlin's great, but Paris was the very first city I went. France was the very first country I went to after the Netherlands. So I was in the Netherlands for a couple months. Then I went to Paris. I was like, Paris, ooh, yeah, it was fun. Hey, I mean, maybe it was just the American in me that was like, wow, Paris, you know. And I mean, I had a great time. Met some really great people. I really had a good network of people there that I met, you know. And so we were all just going about Paris and having a good time. So that was cool. Athens, I would retire in Athens because I like their vibe. They were, I mean, man, it kind of reminds me of here, you know, just because, well, without the sea, you know, Ho Chi Minh, but without the sea. Big coffee culture, big outside doors culture. Everyone is hanging out with their friends, hanging out with somebody, you know, and it's just a lot of places to see, a lot of things to do, and the beach is there as well, and the euro is low, the cost of living there is low. Also, I was a director I moved to Athens, so I lived in Athens for almost 5 months, almost 6 months, almost 6 months, and yeah, so when I met the girl. So, rewind a little bit. Yeah.
Go for it, bro.
Sorry.
Go
Let's
for it,
rewind
please.
a little bit. You know,
Okay.
they're like, what about the girl? You know?
Where was she from, by the way?
Tunisia.
Okay, Tunisia.
yeah, North
But you
Africa.
met where?
In Athens.
Met in Athens. Okay,
Yeah.
go
So
ahead.
I was a guest. I was a guest at the place I would get a job at. So I went there. The owner thought he saw how I moved, and he saw that I brought people together, and then we would always leave out with like 10 people, you know, and everyone was like, it's because of Kevin, you know everybody, you know. I mean, I was on then, you know what I mean, and this was pre-COVID, mind you, so I was on, you know. Since then I'm a little more reserved, you know, but then I was traveling the world like, let's go, you know. So he, at the end of my trip, I ended up seeing her when I first. This was my second time back in Athens, and I met her. I had gotten to the hostel early, like 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So I went to sleep in the lobby because my room wasn't ready yet. So when I woke up the next morning, it's like 8 a.m. I'm in the lobby, yeah. So everyone's in the lobby, and then I wake up and I'm like, ugh. And I look over and I see this beautiful Tunisian girl. I didn't know she was Tunisian at the time, right? I would have been like, oh, she's like Indian or something, but just, you know, fair skin. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. long story short, we ended up talking later that day. And yeah, I got the digits, bro. You know,
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Yeah, it was cool. It made me turn around and go back to the Netherlands and then fly back with all my shit. That's how good it was.
Damn.
So yeah, Athens was great, man. The Netherlands was good too, but the people there were just super cold. And I only hit like 2, you know what I mean? You know? So I was like, I got to get up out of here. Yeah.
Go. I need somewhere where I get more love.
I got to get up out of here. And plus, I'm looking at women like this, you know? And so.
Are they super tall like that?
Yeah. They're the tallest in the world.
In Netherlands?
Yeah.
I thought it was more like Sweden or the Nordic countries.
No. And I haven't been to Sweden yet. I've been to Switzerland.
Okay.
It was cool. But anyways, yeah. After that, we moved in together in Athens, and then after Athens, she had to go back home. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to Tunisia, you know, and so I ended up going to Tunisia, flying to Tunisia. And,
you weren't joking? You actually went to Tunisia?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lived there for about 4 months,
Damn.
about 3 or 4 months, and then we ended up breaking up, you know, and that was an interesting time in my life because, you know. At that time, I thought I was in love.
As you did.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going? Yeah. And turns out she had a man back home, but an ex-boyfriend, and she just
not still together secretly.
They were not together.
Okay.
But they had been in a relationship for 7 years. So it was interesting. It was an interesting time, but. I lived in Tunisia. That was cool, man. Like it was cool. It was like a war torn like area, but like there was no war. You know what I mean? It was like a missile hit a building, boom, and they just left it there. I'm like all over the place. I was like, what the hell? I lived in Tunis, so that's the capital, and so it was cool, man. Yeah. After that, the last place I lived was here.
Yeah. So you said your favorite places were Paris, Athens. You already mentioned why you had good people around you in Paris.
Paris was great.
Greece, well, I mean, we know why now. They got the Tunisia girl.
You know
what was so special about Rome, Italy? You said that was your third favorite.
Yeah, it was non-stop party.
Really?
Yeah.
Rome's a party place.
Oh my god.
I didn't even know Rome had a party scene like that.
Bruh.
I know people go and they do all the tourist stuff, see some statues, but I didn't know it had a party scene like that.
I mean, back in 2019, this is when it was.
Just before COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was in the beginning of 2019.
Okay.
So we still had a whole year, you know? And so, man, Rome, I'll say it was so good that I couldn't remember what we did.
Like that?
Yeah, it was just, I mean, meeting women, going to hotels, drinking, burning some trees, bar hopping.
Bro, Italian people they can burn trees, bro.
Yeah.
I used to work in, sorry to cut you off, but I worked in some Italian bars when I was in London.
Okay.
So I got a couple of Italian friends.
Okay.
Yo, them guys can smoke some weed, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Italian people can smoke.
100%, man. They could drink and eat too, you know? So, but again, I met a really good crew. You know, many people that I keep in touch with. Most people that I've met along the way, I've kept in touch with.
Okay.
Most of them, you know? So just, it was an amazing time, bro. I mean... a year before that, I was in the States, like, I got to get the fuck out of here, you know?
Then you're living your best life.
And living my best life, you know? And it's all over my Instagram. I mean, you can see different places on my Instagram right now. Like, it was amazing, bro. Like,
you're really sparking my interest with Italy, you know? I've never been myself, but from working in those Italian clubs I worked in Italian clubs, bars, and restaurants for almost 7 years. And I hear in London a lot that Italians are racist and all of these kind of things. But my personal experience, every Italian person I've ever met has been amazing to me.
Me too.
Man or woman, they've been so lovely. They're funny. They're cool people, man. They're just cool to hang out with. How was your experience there with all of the people?
I mean, in Italy, so I went to Milan, and they were pretty cold.
Cold,
you know,
okay.
they're, that's what you come to expect. Fast forward, I didn't know that then, but I wasn't really into meeting Italians back then.
Okay.
Like, again, I met people at the hostel or the hotel I would stay at, and it would either be 3, 4, or 5 people that we were rolling out with every night. Every night. And then daytime, we would all go see, all of us would go together and we would all go to the touristy stuff, and then, we do that. So, I mean, I was cool, Portugal was cool as well, but, it was toward the end of my trip at one time when I lived in the Netherlands, and I didn't realize, Portugal is like this, like a mountainous city, like Lisbon. Okay. Lisboa is like a mountainous. It's like all hills.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And so, yeah. But another one is Rome is perfect. Another one is Berlin. So Berlin,
I've heard some mad stories about Berlin.
Berlin
bro.
is absolutely insane.
I've heard the craziest stories about Berlin.
Insane.
I have to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some audience members might know. Have you ever heard of a club?
Yes, the Bergin or whatever.
Kit Kat.
That's the big one, right? The 24-hour one.
I'm not sure if it's 24 hours, but it goes down there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, interesting.
There's one that's called the, I'm gonna F it up, but it's called like the Bergenzheim or something like that.
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I've heard of that one too.
It's, I mean, they party for like a week, 24 hours a day. Like, it's nonstop, And it's basically like sex clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Berlin is about.
Same with the Kit Kat place I heard about.
Of course.
I know some guys that's been there. They told me some crazy stories.
No, I've heard many, many crazy stories, but Berlin wasn't like, I never did that, Berlin was amazing for me because of all the history that was there. I have friends that are there that live there right now. Good friends, really good friends. And so I've been to Berlin 3 times already. Okay. And so I love Berlin because it's great. I mean, the Germany's great. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Germany is cool. I've been all over Germany. Yeah, and plus it's right next door to the Netherlands, so I got to see that a lot. I got to see Germany a lot. Belgium is cool too, but I didn't get a chance to see too much of Belgium. So yeah, it was cool, man. I mean, traveling the world, like, it changed my life to where I'll never live in the States again. Never.
Man, listening to you is making me think I wish I traveled Europe more because it was right on my doorstep.
I know. What are you thinking?
Man.
Yeah.
But I was just never too interested. I went to a few places. So where have I been in Europe? Ireland, Austria. Austria was nice. Okay. Switzerland was cool. Did skiing there. I haven't been.
You went
to
skiing
Germany.
in Switzerland?
Skiing in Switzerland was nice, bro. It was
fun. When I went there,
fun.
it was awesome. Like,
it was lovely.
Yeah, like I never knew what Switzerland would look like. That's kind of like how in Vietnam I didn't know what Vietnam looked like.
It's beautiful in Switzerland, man.
Yeah,
the landscape is it's
gorgeous. Like they go, with all the trees, they cut them perfect. I'm like, how you get them this perfect? The roads clean, no trash whatsoever. And I'm like, damn. Like, I went to Basel.
Basel, okay.
Yeah, Basel and Bern, the capital.
I know Bern.
Yeah, and so that's all I went.
Where did I go? I went Bern and, bro, I couldn't even pronounce the name. Somewhere in the mountains. I'll find the name later and I'll give it to you. But Switzerland is absolutely beautiful.
It is cool. It's expensive as hell, though. Huh?
Speak on it, bro. Hey, you gotta come out of pocket going to Switzerland.
You gotta gamble. You gotta gamble and get your money up, man.
Well, it's beautiful, but it comes at a cost, though.
Oh my God. Man. It's funny because when I was only in Switzerland for like 3 or 4 days.
Okay, I did 2 weeks.
Ooh, you spent some money, bro.
Well, luckily it wasn't on my own dime.
Oh, shoot, you're lucky. So we were looking for places to eat, right? Okay. So I'm like, how expensive could it be, And We're walking down this main. I think we were in Basel. No, we were in Bern.
Okay.
And so I remember walking down this little corridor. It's like in a little outside market type deal, and they're playing a movie on the building, like, and it's
movie on
snowing
the
and shit.
building.
Yeah, it's snowing and shit, and they're projecting a movie, and it's in this like town hall. So the townspeople basically are there's like hundreds of people, and they're just watching the movie on like the I think it's like the city hall or something like that. It's huge, and I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. It was snowing and beautiful. I was like, bro, let's get something to eat. So we were looking for something to eat, and then there's a McDonald's right there. So I went, okay, well, there's nothing here, right? So we went into McDonald's, and I said, okay, I ordered like maybe a cheeseburger and some French fries and a drink. That's it. Just I didn't order a meal. I just ordered separately. Yeah. It came out to like $20.
What?
Like $20
For just a burger, some
a
fries,
simple burger
and a drink.
a medium fry and a drink. And I went, what'd you say?
Damn.
I said, excuse me?
Extortion.
Yeah, and I had like their money is really beautiful out there. So I think if I can remember, I think it was like 100 franc they have or something like that, or whatever. One of their highest bills, 1,000 franc or something. And I gave them 1,000 franc, and I went like, damn, bruh, that's a lot of money. I had to give them 1,000 franc and something else to cover the bill. I went like, bruh. And I think the franc was like a 20 or something like that. I was like, bruh.
Damn,
Are you
Switzerland,
kidding me?
boy.
Yeah, and so everything else was great about Switzerland, but it was hella expensive.
I hear that.
Hella expensive.
I hear that. But when that whole time traveling, backpacking Europe before coming to Asia, I know it was a while ago, so I'm sure Kevin then might be different from Kevin now.
For sure.
My question is, at that time, from America to then, what did you really appreciate most about that time? What did you learn about yourself in that backpacking time?
I mean, I could do it. Again, going back to having self-doubts and stuff, right? I've never been the person to let self-doubt get me down and stop me and stop progress. It may chip away a little bit, but I have just as much or more confidence within myself that I know who I am and what I'm capable of. But I'll say this. It's never stopped me from doing what I wanted to do during any of this stuff, man. I mean, let's be real. Like, I won't allow myself. I mean, hell, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just a regular dude, but I'm here. I made it, and, God hasn't let me go astray, and so, I mean, the difference between that Kev and this Kev is just that I don't party anymore like that. I'm more of, I would love to travel more, but I mean, I got responsibilities, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm about to get married, and I want to eventually have some children here in the next 2 years, and yeah, I want to start this business, get this stuff off the ground, continue doing content, helping people come to Vietnam. I mean, there's a lot going on, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, I've never let doubt, hurt me or pull me back, but that Kev back then was the same guy that's in front of you right now. It's just that I now know more.
Respect. The reason why I ask is because I often get a lot of guys, especially back home in England, a few other places, but younger guys always message me and they ask me about this life I'm living, being abroad, traveling. Because back in England, slightly different from the States. going on holidays is very normal for us. We're always taking holidays. It's quite normal for people to take holidays every couple months, at least once every year. But in terms of actually living abroad and leaving home,
It's different.
that's different,
Yeah,
a
it's
bit
different.
unheard of. So people always often ask me what it's like, my experiences, how to do it. And I often tell people, well, yeah, plan.
Call Kev.
Cool, Kev. Could do that. Save up some money. But regardless of what I say, any advice I give them, I usually see that the main thing holding people back is that self-doubt.
Yeah.
So if you had some younger boys coming to you asking you for advice on moving out of their home country, what would you say to them?
I mean, it would just depend on their situation, man, you know? I mean, truly, living abroad is not for everybody.
100.
You know? Just because it's more affordable somewhere else doesn't mean you're going to make it. You know? Yeah, if you want to come, you're more than welcome to. However, once you get boots on the ground, this shit is wild. You know? Because the language barrier is trash. You can't understand each other generally, unless you get lucky and find a good girl or find some good Vietnamese friends that actually know a little bit of English. I would tell the the young boys, and I tell people, the young boys, like, go for it. You know, don't be afraid. You know, one, you have me here. One, you have Ramel here, right? So utilize these people. Utilize us, you know? We're not doing this for no reason, right? I mean, my whole thing with YouTube is promoting Vietnam. And so I want to promote Vietnam. I want people to have a better life. I want people to not stress anymore. I want people to bring their good habits here, right? I'm not doing this just so that people can not listen to me, you know? I know people have their own ideas and stuff, and that's great. But I've been there, done that. You know, this is what I tell them. Let me help you. Let me help you, you know, have a soft landing. You know, because if I had someone who could have done that for me, I would have reached out and said, hey, man, can you help me with this? Because I'm thinking about moving here and I'm thinking about going this way. Man, back in 2018, October, when I left, if I didn't do any research, none, zero, zilch, nada. I just knew I had the desire to leave. And when I sold all my stuff and I left my apartment, I knew that was it. I had nothing else. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. All right, I guess I'm doing this. Let go, you know? And I did not know what I know now back then.
Respect, bro. And anyone out there who's curious, thinking about moving to Vietnam or doesn't know how, Kevin offers a service helping people relocate to Vietnam. So towards the end of the episode, I'll plug that in. I'll also leave a link to Kevin's channel. But with that said, so Kev, walk us through why Vietnam. How did you end up here, bro? Of all places, I mean, you could have done Japan, China, Philippines. Why Vietnam?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, bro, I was just traveling the world. I mean, it kind of I got lucky. I mean, I didn't know back then I was getting lucky, but now I know I got lucky. You know, because Vietnam's changed my life, bro. Like, for real, I was traveling the world, and after I left North Africa, I went to Morocco. Then I flew over here to Thailand. Okay. And so did the whole Thailand thing. You know, I had a 1 month visa, so I was like, okay, what is this? This shit crazy. You know what I mean? This shit crazy.
Thailand's nuts, bro. Thailand's nuts. I love it, but it's nuts.
Yeah. Especially back then, you know. In 2019, it was just madness. You know. I believe it. And I mean, bruh. I remember Tijuana, Mexico, back when I was 18 years old. There was nothing better than, if anyone on here remembers, Mexico. So I was 2001. So that was about 2001, 2000. It wasn't after 2002, but it was like 99, 2000, 2001. Those 3 years of of Tijuana, Mexico were insane. Thousands of people, kids, 18 and younger, between 16 and 18, because in Mexico you can party and drink at 18.
Okay.
So between 16-year-olds and let's just say 18 to 20-year-olds, right? Because you can't drink in the U.S.
21?
Until 21, yeah. And so it was thousands of people, and the clubs there were bumping. I mean, there were hundreds of people in clubs. So I experienced that, and then fast forward to 2019, and I'm 35, and I see Bangkok, Thailand, Khao San Road for the first time. And it took me back then. I went, holy shit. Not as many people, but it was still packed. And so I didn't know what Asia looked like, So I was solo traveling, met some people, started traveling with them around Thailand. We took the train down to Malaysia.
Okay.
But we took the train down, went to Hua Hin. Huahin.
Hua Hin.
Yeah, Hua Hin, Thailand, and down south, and then we went to Koh Phangan and Koh Samui.
That's where I stayed, Koh Phangan.
It's amazing.
I did a month there.
It's amazing, right? Yeah, it's great, and then went to Malaysia, but then. So I was just going south, went to Malaysia, then I was coming to Vietnam. I spent 3 months in Malaysia.
Which part? Kuala Lumpur, Penang?
So I went to Penang first. Okay. Penang, a.k.a. Georgetown. So I went to Penang first for New Year's Eve 2020. Okay. Right? So New Year's Eve 2020, we spent in Penang, and then it was insane. It was just insane. I was like, what is this? How did I miss this my whole life? This is crazy, right? So then we went down to KL, Kuala Lumpur, spent 2 months basically 2.5 months in KL. U.S. citizens can get 90-day visa free. 90 days visa free. Yeah,
I've got plans of living in Kuala Lumpur. I really do.
It's great.
I want to experience it.
It's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's monotonous.
Okay.
But it's still great. Best Indian food I ever had.
I believe that.
Straight up. Best Chinese food I ever had.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because Malaysia is a mix between three. The Chinese, the Indian, and the Malay. And so they have structures, right? So from what I heard, Indians control all of I think it's the blue collar jobs.
Okay.
So the service industry, taxi service, all that stuff, right? Then the Asians,
Chinese.
The Chinese, thank you. The Chinese, they do the white collar jobs, all the big business, investments into the country and all that stuff, right? So they deal with that. And then the Malays, they just do everything else.
Okay.
Right? And so I could be wrong with that. That's what I heard back then.
No, that's what I've heard as well. I heard that actually the British actually kind of structured it that way when they colonized the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn British.
Yeah.
And so then I just came to Vietnam. Time ran out, my visa in Malaysia. And then Vietnam was the next stop. I was like, all right, hey, what you got for me, Vietnam? When I went to Vietnam, when I came here, I didn't know what it looked like.
Okay.
I had no picture in my head. So when I came, I flew into Ho Chi Minh City, where we're at now.
Oh, you came Ho Chi Minh first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, this is just like Bangkok. Okay, this is cool. But I didn't know they had high rises. I just thought they were, I don't know, single story houses all over the place. I didn't realize they were so developed. And so I spent a week here in Ho Chi Minh City, and that was fucking crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I believe it.
That was. I mean,
Ho Chi Minh's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if you just want to party and go crazy, come to Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah. So after a week of just
yeah,
you know what I mean. I went up to Hanoi for a week. I was only supposed to be here 2 weeks. That was it. And then I was gone. I was gonna head back wherever I I think I was gonna go to China after that. I might have even thought about going to Cambodia, Laos, whatever, just around. I was heading towards Japan, and so when I say I was legit traveling the world, I legit was traveling the world.
So nowhere was home. Home was just where you was at.
Absolutely. Home where my feet were. And so when I went up to Hanoi, spent like a week up there, like 5 days, COVID happened. So they shut the border down.
Okay.
And the rest is kind of history. I mean, that was it, man. I had to pivot. And so
it was almost like a complete accident, the long-term stay in Vietnam
Yes.
because of COVID.
Yes.
I had a similar situation in Korea. I went to Korea, it was supposed to be temporary, but because of COVID, England went on lockdown. So China said, hey, if you British, you can't come in our country. So I ended up just being stuck in Korea for 7 months, which turned out to be one of the best trips of my life.
100%.
So I relate.
Yeah.
It's funny how life happens like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I would have never guessed 5 years later, 5.5 years later, where I'd be right now. Like, back then, it wasn't even a thought, you know? When I came to Vietnam, I started to, so after COVID happened, COVID 1, right? That was that very first lockdown. So all the borders were closing. And so, yeah, I had to pivot, man. I still had events back home for my catering business, and they were still pumping. But then, luckily, at that moment, I didn't have a ton that I had to like refund, but I had to refund some people, you know, and it wasn't good, you know. Having money go out back that way is tough, you know. You know, and there's nothing I can do, you know, because we had to stop service. You know, I had to shut the business down everyone did, you know, and basically, fast forward, it knocked out 80% of my business, 90% of my business. So still has not recovered. Still, like I have clients back in the day who have been, you know, keeping me afloat, but like it still hasn't recovered because a lot of my clients were the middle class. So a lot of them got hit. A lot. You know, most of them got hit. I found out a lot of my clients, they moved states.
Okay.
So it's crazy, bro. I mean, you know, just putting our dukes back up, trying to, you know, fight up, man.
Figure it out.
Yeah. So
what was the lockdown like here? How intense or not intense was it? Because here was pretty intense.
Yeah. So, lockdown 1 was in Hanoi. That was like 2.5 months.
Okay.
That was nothing. That was nothing. So, after that, they kept like maybe not. We'll be on lockdown, maybe. But they opened it up for like 3 or 4 months before they just shut it again. That's number 2.
Okay.
COVID 2, right? And so, within COVID 1 and 2, I went to do the Hajang loop. I did the loop. And
on the motorbike.
Yeah. It was awesome. I spent 2.5 weeks with another American girl from shout out to you, Miss Aurora, but she never rode a motorbike ever. Never.
And straight away went to
the loop. She did the
about
loop.
throwing in yourself in the deep end.
Yeah. She did the loop. I was like, wow. And I'm burning, you know? And, well, one more like, you know? But I was burning through it, and she was right behind me. She was right behind me like a little bit of ways, but I wasn't burning around. But I kept up, you know? I kept the lookout for her. She was cool, man. I mean, if she can do it, her very first time ever being on a motorbike in that environment, holy shit. There ain't no excuse for y'all.
I respect. Shout out to Aurora.
Yeah. No, it was cool. But I did after I did the loop and stuff, I had to find out I had to pivot, right? So I pivoted and was like, okay, I heard about this English teaching thing. You know, people kept saying like, you could teach English here, you could teach blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, what the fuck does that mean, man? Like, how? How? You know? So I got my degree and my TEFL degree, teaching certificate, stamped by the embassy, right, to legalize it, because you need that to start. So I ended up looking for jobs. I mean, I did it all myself. Like, I looked for jobs. I went through the process myself. My first job ever was Apex.
Okay.
And so
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
again, if I had someone who would have told me like, "Hey, man, just nudge me like, hey, man, don't go to Apex. Just go to this job. It'd be better. My very first job was Apex. They sent me to Thanh Hoa is like a medium-sized city, about an hour or 3 hours south of Hanoi.
So it's up north.
Yeah, it's up north.
Thanh Hoa.
Yeah. So after that, I worked with them for 6 months. They were having major money issues.
Yeah, I bet. Enough guys who didn't get paid.
to say the least. To say the least. And so luckily I got all my money out before.
Nice.
Before all that shit was, because when I was there, it was just they had already been doing that a couple months, but it wasn't like whoosh, down the hill, yet. So luckily I got all my money out of there, and then I moved to Saigon. I moved here the first time.
Okay.
I lived here for a year and a half, and so that's when they had the really big lockdown.
Okay.
So they had martial law. The martial law lockdown.
I heard about this. I heard this is where it got really serious. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, that shit, we were on lockdown for 7 months. Like, when I say lockdown, they had, nobody's in the street. It's martial law. So nobody's in the street, and military is just roaming around, making sure nobody's on the street.
Damn.
That shit was fucking scary, one. And two, how we gonna get food? How we gonna get food, Being you realize at that moment, damn, man, I'm in a foreign country. Because the idea was that they were going to set up, your building manager was going to get food for you from the military, right? So they had this big campaign that said, we're going to bring this big ass box of food for you every week. For everyone. For everyone. This was supposed to be for everyone, right? And it was rough, bruh. It was rough. I actually lived in Tan Binh.
Here in Tan Binh.
Yeah, here in Tan Binh.
For people who don't know, this is the district area we live in, Tan Binh. It's an area right by the airport.
Yeah. And so I lived here, but I lived on the other side.
Okay.
Not this side. And yeah, luckily I am who I am, where I have confidence. I was outside every day. Every day. I was like, hey, hello. And they just let me go.
No repercussions.
No, nothing. No repercussion, no nothing. Like, I would drive my bike on the other side to D7.
What, from Tan Binh to D7?
Yeah.
But that's like a 40-minute journey.
Yeah. And I went through like 5-6 checkpoints all along the way and all along the way back.
Okay.
And they wanted you to show papers, but here, at least back then, here they're getting a little bit better about it, but they're still kind of like, if you're a foreigner, they're like, just go,
Don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing to me, and so, sometimes I had to go to the plug. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most of the time,
got nothing else to do.
yeah. So I had, they were still doing their thing. So I was like, shit, I'm out. So I got to go. And I went every time. Every time I wanted, I went. But it was rough. It was really rough, man, because we were just stuck. I mean, basically, you can't go out. And how I got food was the next door neighbor in the building next door, she got a delivery from military.
Okay.
And so, it was a huge box of like rice, vegetables, all kinds of vegetables and stuff. And she gave it to me.
Respect.
Yeah, and then
Vietnamese lady.
Yeah, Vietnamese. Yeah. Didn't know her from Adam. I didn't know her from nothing, and never saw her in my life. But she lived next door, next building over. In that little area, in our little area back then, we were all probably on lockdown for like 5 months. Before all the little stores, the Vietnamese said, man, fuck this, we about to make some money. We can't make no money over here, man. So you know how Vietnamese are, Shit, they be like, come. Yeah. So they would do that. They would open up halfway, open up their gate halfway, and then be like, what do you want? And then we'll just boom, and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get my cigarette, get my beer at the time. I'll get that, and then whatever else little stuff I needed. But they ended up turning most of those those little mom and pop stores into like food shelters and shit in that neighborhood. So everybody was like communally sharing. You know what I mean? Like the food that they would get from the military, they would just, here, you need something.
Okay.
You know, it was cool, man. I mean, it was cool, but that's what made me leave and go, like, get the fuck out of here, you know? What the hell's going on with the Saigon government? Why are you doing this to us? You know, never been in anything like that in my life. So I moved back to Hanoi for the first time at this point. Moved to Hanoi and then lived there for 3 years and then back here now.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest difference between Saigon and Hanoi? The reason I ask is because I'm sure you know, if you ask Vietnamese people, people in Saigon, they hate everyone up north. People up north, same thing. But for you, what would you say is the main difference between Hanoi and Saigon?
Yeah, man. So the north people are more cold. You know, they come from like more the Chinese background.
Okay.
So they're more traditional up there. The South is more open. They're more willing to, you know, congregate with foreigners, you know. Up there, they don't really congregate with foreigners that often.
Interesting. I'm so happy to hear you tell me this because I hear that a lot from Vietnamese people. But in my mind, I'm always thinking, okay, there's just some sort of bias there. But you're a foreigner here. You have no specific favorite. So hearing you say it, I'm thinking, okay, so there's some truth to this.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. And that's the truth, you know. The southern people don't care about the north people. The north people don't give a damn about the south people, you know. That's true. And then everybody in the central, they're just like
they're just doing their own thing.
We don't know about it. You know? Where you from? Central? Okay, all right. You know.
Why do you think that is? Is that to do with the history of the war or something else?
Because from what I heard was, the North owns everything. And in the South can't buy any land or any of that shit outside of the South.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's changed or not. This is what an old Vietnamese man told me. And multiple Vietnamese have told me this while I've been here. So
they can't buy land outside of the
North
South.
owns everything.
So by law, even if they had the
North
money,
people,
But for guys in the South, even if they had the finances, just by law, they cannot buy.
They can buy stuff in the South.
But not up north.
Not in the North.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah. Not anywhere in the country, but here in the South.
Is that to hold power up north?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it comes from just the whole history. Like, you know, we own you bitches. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, you know, politically correct, but or not. But yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it happened. You know, I mean, that's what happened. And, you know, I really can't really speak on that too much about that because it's not my expertise. But, you know, from what I heard, it's just like, yeah, it comes from the war. War days, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what brought you from Hanoi back to Saigon, bro?
Hanoi's great, man. I mean, I really love Hanoi. That's why I went back. I love Hanoi because, one, Hanoi is the weather. It was different back then. So this would have been 2022. Yeah, 2021. The end of 2021.
Okay.
So it was cold back then in Hanoi. So I loved that because everywhere I went in Southeast Asia, it was fucking hot. Yeah. So I left here because it was so hot. Nowadays, it's temperate. It's very, very temperate.
Okay.
You know, it's very mild here. Dude, back in 2021, here in Ho Chi Minh City, it was boiling.
More than it is now.
Yes, like 10 times boiling. I mean, 5 times boiling.
Bro, I can't even imagine that because certain days here, I feel like I'm fucking cooking, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, even at night, it felt like the daytime. I had AC on 24/7. Like, seriously. And now I don't. It's weird. And it's weird because Hanoi ended up, it was really, really cold at, you know, certain times, like in the fall and stuff. And then now it's completely shifted. it's hot, 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 and down here it's temperate and mild.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's changed a lot, in the last three years. Like global warming has changed a lot.
Shit, man.
It's weird. It's really weird for me.
That's kind of fucked because listening to you talk about how Hanoi is kind of cold, in my head I'm thinking, shit, I need to go spend some months in Hanoi.
No,
because
so-
coming from England, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm kind of starting to miss the cold a bit, bro.
Yeah. So, but hold on now.
Okay.
So that's good about Hanoi, right? But what's really bad about Hanoi is the air quality.
I've heard this. I've heard it's polluted as far.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I have asthma, and so it really started to affect me after 3 years.
That bad?
Yeah, not that bad, but I could feel a difference
Okay.
to where I was like, okay, it's now time to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's now time to leave, and then plus I had my honey, so I was like, all right, I'm good now. You know what I mean? Let's build a life now. You know what I mean? So, but again, she's never lived in Ho Chi Minh City before now.
Okay,
She
this is
never
her first time living here.
Yes, yeah. And
What about even just traveling here?
she traveled here before.
Okay, but
Yeah.
not long term.
Not long term. No, she just kind of passing through and then heading off somewhere else. But so this is my second time living here, and I absolutely love it this time more than I did the first time.
I bet. I mean, first time was fucking
Shit,
lockdown.
I got me a girl
bro.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, man. Bro, take me back. Before you came back to Saigon the second time,
Sure.
let's talk about it. How did you end up meeting Mrs.?
Yeah. So, I went to. So when I left here the first time, I went up to Hanoi. I went back to Hanoi. I was looking for a job. You know.
You were still single at that time?
Yeah. I was still getting in bed, you know. You know what I'm saying? So I was still doing my thing, and I'll be honest, up north, I had way more opportunities up there
In terms of dating?
with dating, yes, than down in the south.
That's interesting because I've spoken to a couple of my other foreign friends, specifically my black foreign friends, and it is different for us. It is a bit different.
Yeah.
And all my black foreign friends specifically have said that they actually enjoy dating more in Hanoi than they did down here. And I thought that was interesting because I had a great time here. But I was thinking, damn, what's Hanoi like?
Yeah, it's nice. Again,
Why do you think that is? Different mindset, culture?
Because everyone comes here. Everyone comes to Ho Chi Minh City, and the girls get ran through.
I mean, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying.
You know what I'm
Let's be
saying?
real.
So but in the north they're more pure.
Bit more traditional.
Yeah,
I've heard this a lot
and
as well.
so they're more curious. Again, Hanoi doesn't attract a lot of foreigners. It does, but then it doesn't attract as much as Ho Chi Minh City does, because the girl down here be like
Different, yeah, I
and
bet.
it's just more open down here, But Hanoi's coming up. But again, there's no entertainment there. There's none.
You don't get no Bouvier in
There's
Japan town
nothing.
over there.
No, I mean you got old quarter, but other than that, it's like that's where they put everybody. Like all the foreigners go there, and then it's just like, okay, there's nothing else around. There's nothing outside of the old quarter. That's it, And so you're like, okay, here. I mean, at least every district and then every ward, So here it's like district. Then it's like it has different wards, right? It's called Phuong. And so it's different wards. Ward 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like neighborhood. That's your neighborhood, basically, right? And so, but these wards are huge, And so up there, at least, or excuse me, down here, every ward has some sort of entertainment. Everything. I mean, like hundreds of entertainment, And so within those wards. And so when you have a district full of entertainment, all throughout, you can find something to do anywhere in Ho Chi Minh City. In Hanoi, 10 o'clock, everybody...
For real?
Yeah.
interesting because one of the things I noticed about coming here is I can go out 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I'll find something to do. There'll be a coffee shop open. There'll be something open. Uncle's doing karaoke.
100%.
There's something.
Yeah, this is a 24-hour city, and that's why I love living by the airport because you get to see it. It never stops. It dies down, but it never
doesn't
stops.
stop.
No,
Yeah, facts.
and there's places that are open that you can eat some pho, you know, and that you can be good with it, you know. So, but in Hanoi, it's only the old quarter.
Okay.
That's it. So that's all the tourist places. That's where all the bars are. That's where all that shit is. Unless you go outside and like you go into like the expat district where I lived, it's called Tejo. And so that's probably like 20 minutes north of the old quarter. Maybe 15, 20 minutes, you know? And that place used to be cool. That place ain't cool anymore because of the type of foreigners that are there now. The type of foreigners there are like uppity, you know. They're like, you know,
Okay, you know, that kind.
Like Bristol. From
Okay, like
you know
that.
what I mean? You know,
there's something you said as well, bro.
From Kensington, you know?
Kensington,
yeah,
like that.
more like that,
super posh.
Yeah.
Bro, there was something you said, and I agree, man. I'm probably gonna get in trouble. I might have some ex-girlfriend message me later and say, "You asshole." But bro, with Saigon, I can tell you, in my experience, the nicest girls I've ever met are from outside of Saigon.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I'll be real with you consistently.
Not
to say I haven't met nice girls in Saigon, but the relationships I've had where I'm like, you're actually a pleasure to be around.
Yeah.
She's not originally from Saigon, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of spoiled here. I'll be real with you. A bit spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Again, that's why I keep trying to tell people on my channel is that, you know, if you get a girl from Saigon, she's like a Western girl. You know, she's still Vietnamese. She still has that traditional mindset, but they're more willing to get into and adhere to the West cultures.
Facts. I've seen that.
Outside, the ones who come in here, they get corrupted, right?
When they come here.
Yeah. But then the ones that see no person from Saigon, which is really strange. No Saigonese go to Hanoi. They'll go there to visit family or whatever,
but not to move there.
But never to move there.
It's
always
the
north always comes to the south, yeah. And so again, I'm glad to hear you say that because I keep saying Saigonese girls are not bad. You got to find a good one, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I know it's facts. I wouldn't. It's facts. Since I've been here, it's exactly almost 1 year now. Bro, I tell my friends, Ho Chi Minh, you know what's funny? Let me tell you a quick story. Before I came here, maybe 3 years before I moved to Vietnam, back in England, while I was still training to be an engineer, I was working concierge for apartment buildings. And I remembered I met this one rich, older white dude. Cool guy. Can't remember his name, but super cool guy. So he told me he used to do real estate out in Asia. So I asked him one day, hey, where's your most favorite place you've ever lived in Asia? He said, as a married man or as a single man? He said, as a married man, I love living in Singapore. I was like, okay, as a single man. He said, as a single man, Ho Chi Minh City. He told this to me 3 years ago, and I quote him. He said, Ho Chi Minh City is single man heaven. Yeah. I've lived here for a year now. 100%. I always remembered him. Yeah. He was absolutely right. It's actually single man heaven. I don't know if this is the place you want to find wifey, but it's definitely single man heaven. No. It's a bit nuts. If you just want to have fun and go crazy, I mean, this is the place for you.
I definitely agree with that because I'll say this, and I'm picking my words carefully. I still live here, you know what I mean? Ho Chi Minh is good for fun. You know, the country has designed it for fun, right? That's what this place is for. You can get lost in this place, right? 100%. When I first showed up to this place, the 1 week I was here, when I first flew to Vietnam, I mean, it was just insane, man. Being a single guy here, you pick of the litter. I mean, honestly, as a black man, even as a black man, I was like, okay, I was like, okay, cool, but I will say the easiest, if you want to get a woman quick, and I'm not talking about girlfriend, I'm talking about situationship. If you want to get situationship real quick, date a foreigner. Date foreign women here. Dude, there's women from all over the world that get no play.
I believe that. I've seen it. I've seen it, man.
Well, foreign women, they've told me. Like, I went on dates with them. I went on multiple. I've had more foreign dates and situationships here than I did the whole time I was traveling around the world. Because when you're traveling, you're not really looking for... Yeah, you're looking for some tail, but you're too busy just having fun, enjoying the moment, and then getting up out of there. You know what I mean? On to the next, And so, don't get me wrong, I got some tail, don't get me wrong, but that wasn't on my mind, really, to be honest. It was, but it wasn't, Once I landed, because I would leave every few days or every week, right? And within a week, if I stayed in a city or a country for a week, I stayed in multiple cities. So I'm staying in this place one day, I'm gone the next day, So I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to get some tail, even though there were many opportunities, right? And so here, I mean, foreign women were just so easy, bro. It's just ridiculous. And the reason why they were telling me they're like, we don't like the foreign women. We don't like Vietnamese men.
I believe that.
Because they said that they're too feminine. They drink too much, and they don't treat them right. Two, they said that they don't get foreign men because all the foreign men are going for the Vietnamese girls. Yeah, And so I was like, all right, what'd you say? You know what I mean? Because I was like, okay, on to the next. You know what I mean? And so, yes, the dating here before I got locked down. The dating here was fucking great for me. Now, I hear for the white boys, it's fucking 10 times more.
Which it blows my mind, because me personally, I've had probably one of the most craziest, eclectic, exciting, best dating experiences here. So when I hear that white guys got it even 10 times better, I'm thinking, how? Because I had a good time.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I mean, it when I first got here, it was more... They were more desired, although they're still somewhat desired. I've heard from Vietnamese women over the last couple of years that they don't really desire white guys like that anymore.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, just because they've been dogged out. A lot of the white dudes. Bad. Yeah, a lot of white boys are treating them real bad.
Because I told all my white friends back home, you need to come here, bro. Live like a king.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, you can't help it. And once you get over it, man. You just get over it. You're like, it's cool, because there's plenty out there for me.
Right.
Again, if the girls who fuck with you are gonna be either the girls who don't have any experience, right? That's the one you want. Number two is the ones who fucked with other brothers before, and other foreigners. You don't want that.
That's the one you don't want.
You don't want that one. All right, but and that's it, right? On occasion, you'll get the country girl. You know what I mean? But again, the Vietnamese women are opening their eyes open for us. They're opening their eyes for us. And that's only been happening for the last few years since I've been here, right? Of course, I haven't met everyone, right? I don't know everything, but what I know in my experience and what I've seen from my other brothers who are here, and from white boys that I know to other races that I know, yeah, the white guys are still on top. Don't get me wrong, the Vietnamese guys are still on top. They're banging 95% of the girls here.
Yeah, I mean, it's their country.
Yeah. So let's not.
And most Vietnamese girls like Vietnamese men.
Yeah. I mean, that's the truth. Like we're talking about a freaking small sliver of a population that likes foreign men. And even out of that small little sliver, even more smaller sliver have dated brothers. You know what I mean? So, I mean, on occasion you'll get someone, you'll be like, damn, okay, I didn't realize you like brothers. You know what I mean? But again, if you don't come here and you don't sit at the table then you will never have an opportunity to try the delicacy of a Vietnamese woman. You know what I mean?
And you know what's funny? You said something. Even with that small little niche, it's still more than enough. It's
I
something
know.
for everyone.
I know.
People don't
Yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
bro. I had a conversation with a guy one time. He was complaining about he couldn't get a date. I said, how?
Yeah.
How? Here in Vietnam,
yeah.
bro, in Ho Chi Minh, you just step outside your house.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful woman everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's not hard to see.
Man.
Like the proximity. Like I remember back home in London, like there's beautiful girls in London, but not everywhere I go I'm turning my head. But in
Yeah.
Ho Chi Minh, there's literally
Yeah.
a beautiful girl everywhere.
Yeah. He ain't lying, man. I mean, like when I do consultations, for guys, and they go, well, how do I find a girl, man? I want
Turn
a woman.
up.
Yeah, that's all I just turn your ass
Trust
up.
me, just
Seriously,
come.
and then they think that I'm being facetious or something, and I'm
not.
like, bruv, I'm telling you, bruh, you just get off the plane, put your bags down, go have a coffee. It's that easy.
It's not an exaggeration.
No,
People
it's-
unless you live here, it's not an exaggeration. Literally, you just go outside. There's literally beautiful women everywhere. I don't know what is in the food, but Vietnam is just constantly spitting out 7, 8, 9, 10s. It just is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So, bro, you know what? Actually, before we move on, bro, there's something you said about with the white guy just dogging them out. I had an experience. I was dating this one girl. Won't say her name. She might know who I'm talking about. Bro, when I first met her, first thing she said to me was, I'm whitewashed. And that was actually a big turn off for me, bro. First date, she's like, yeah, I'm whitewashed. I said, hey, you're not really like normal girls here. She's like, yeah, I'm whitewashed. And then I looked at her and I said, I think you're on a date with the wrong guy. You know what I mean? I think you're with the wrong guy. And then, yeah, I noticed, bro, she's dated a lot of foreigners. I say dated to be polite. You know what I mean? And then she was jaded, bro.
Yeah.
Jaded, bro.
Yeah.
And there was just this barrier
Yeah.
that I couldn't pass to get to her.
Vietnamese?
Vietnamese. But she was a lovely girl. But we just couldn't connect. And this sounds rude, but I just had to put her in the play category. It just couldn't be anymore.
Yeah.
Because there was a barrier there. And I realized it's not because she's a bad person. It was just, bro, she's been dogged out by foreigners.
Yeah.
Specific type of foreigners.
Yeah.
So it's like her heart, she just couldn't feel love no more.
Yeah, this is why I've been through it. I've seen it. I talk to these women. I've talked to women. I always constantly talk to women. I constantly talk to bros. I constantly talk to other foreigners as well. And bros meaning Vietnamese guys as well. And it's the truth. You don't want to fuck with a Vietnamese girl who's like this with foreigners.
I don't like it, bro. It turns me off, kind of.
Yeah,
I'll be real
because
with you.
again, if they're with you or if they're with me, it would be something different because they would be treated like queens. But not every foreign guy treats their women like a queen. With respect. And I'm not saying you gotta lay down for them and simp for them. I'm not saying that. But when you have your woman, you're willing to do whatever.
100.
You know what I mean? And if you ain't willing to do whatever for your woman, then you need to be single, bruh. Simple as that. Because if you don't look at your woman and you can't say that wifey right there, then what is she? What category is she in? You can have all the fun you want here, but once you get a girl, a good one, don't fuck it up. Because it's already hard enough to get a Vietnamese woman. Like in general, it's just hard to get them. And if you fuck it up, then this country likes to talk.
Yeah.
Yo,
Vietnamese people can't mind their own damn business, bro. Let's be real,
for
bro. You know.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, how the fuck you know?
Exactly. Bro, they can talk.
Yeah. And so, that's it, man. If you can't get a date here, there's something wrong with you.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, Vietnamese women, they don't, once you get their heart, then they're just like, come here, you know what I mean? And then that's the beginning of the stage. That's the beginning, bruh. Like, you gotta go through the family, you gotta go through the friends, you gotta go through everybody, the neighborhood as well. And what I mean by that is like everybody watching you. Everybody. They're like that, but they watching you. You know, they're like that, but they watching you. You know, so everybody talks. This country talk. I don't give a damn if you're from the north. The north people don't like the south people, but if they don't like your ass more, you know. So you're the foreigner. So they're Vietnamese. They're always gonna look out for each other. You gotta understand that. You know?
Oh, facts. And I learned that the hard way. So I remember my last serious relationship, bro. I found out, man, you have to watch what you say, man. I was in everyone's group chat, screenshots of me, screenshots of messages, ending up in all different people's phones who I don't even know.
Yeah.
These people talk for real,
For
bro.
real, for real. Yeah, no, you just gotta, again, you know, you as a foreigner, you can get away living here. You can get away with not knowing what's going on, but you just got to continue to be a good person because they will fucking talk about your ass. They are talking about your ass. You know what I mean? But if you're a good person and you treat them with respect, don't let these motherfuckers, you know, come on, you know, step up on you though. You know what I mean? You still gotta have a backbone.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, they're gonna test you. Vietnam's gonna test you every fucking minute. Every single minute. You have to be aware. You know, this is what I tell my clients and my subscribers when we do consultations. They don't understand. Like people, some guy tried to said on my comment, "Oh, you're just being so like hyperbolic. You know, you're what do you say? You're being hyperbolic and you're trying to put a dub on it. Basically, saying that I'm saying Vietnam is not as intense as it is. It is intense. You know." I don't want my clients to know. I don't want them to not know that, right? If you get here and you go outside of the airport and then you get into a taxi and then you see all the motorbikes going, you don't tell me that's not intense. You step outside that taxi, you're looking for your hotel, you can't read a fucking sign. You mean to tell me that's not intense, right? You know what I mean? Tell me your heart's not like this a little bit, right? If we didn't have a map, we didn't have Google Maps, you would not know your way around this place. Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah. So, and so I try to just prepare people and be like, hey, man, you know, understand, like, I'm used to it now, but I'm still not used to it, right? Because, again, it's just a matter of owning your shit and standing 10 toes deep.
Respect.
Right?
And this is why I fuck with you, Kev, honestly, bro, because from China to Korea to Vietnam now, I see a lot of people, especially YouTubers online, they only ever put out what's good about a country or what they love. And in my head, I'm watching and I think, yeah, these things are true, but you're not being honest.
Yeah.
You're not sharing everything because
Yeah.
no place is a utopia.
Yeah.
Nowhere's 100% perfect. You're just doing that either not to get cancelled or you're just catering to the country for views.
Yeah.
But I respect you, bro, because you give it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly and everything in between.
Yeah, I
That's
appreciate
real
it, bro.
life, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I appreciate
real
it,
life.
man. That's love right there.
Yeah, for real, brother.
Appreciate that, bro.
100.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one, I'm a brother, you know, and I'm always gonna keep it real. I stand on principle, you know. It's been amazing. Like this ride has been amazing, man. I got to meet a woman that I look at as my wife, the mother of my children soon. This country has offered me stability. Also not stability, you know, being unstable as well, you know, let's be real. And, but it's given me a chance to get my life back, you know, to kind of, again, take that step back and be like, all right, you know, I can see now, you know? And so I took a couple of years off from during COVID of just to rest my mind, you know, from business and from all of that stress, you know? And yeah, that's why now I got my fire back. I'm like, all right, come on now, let's get it, you know? And so I appreciate that, man, because I've been working on myself, you know? I've been constantly, and even now, constantly having to remind myself, like, stay present, because I could get off on a tangent, you know what I mean? Go over here on this YouTube thing, go over here on this business thing, go over here, have coffee with some friends, talk business, go over here, you know what I mean? But I try to stay as disciplined as possible. Now I just need to get my black ass back in the gym, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Respect, bro.
That's it.
So, bro, going from Saigon, I mean, we spoke about the party life, how it can get crazy here, dating. Let's get to the point where Kev started to settle down, found his queen, man. So you went back to Hanoi. Take me through how you found your queen, bro.
So when I got, you're good. Hey, he be tying this shit right back, you know? But so when I left Saigon here, went back up to Hanoi, was looking for a job, and ended up getting a job at a bigger company, right? And so this is one of the original founding English centers that just blew up, and it was a foreigners started it, and then
Foreigners started
the company, and then they sold to Vietnamese, and now it's going downhill.
I'm not even surprised.
But I worked for them for 3 years, and so the first center that I was at, I met her, but we didn't start even like talking seriously until 8 months after.
Until 8 months later.
Yeah, 8
was she
months
directly
later.
one of your TAs?
Yeah.
Or just worked in the center?
Yeah, she was one of my directly for that year.
Okay.
But you know, the funny thing is how Vietnamese women flirt is so fucking funny.
Sorry, I had to laugh, bro, because I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I'd be I'd be like this, man. This is how Vietnamese women smile. You know? And this is how Vietnamese women tell you they're interested. This is how Vietnamese women tell you they love you. And so I'm like, I didn't even know. Yeah. Oh, she liked me. Okay. I had no idea, bro. So, you know, I was on my thing. I was doing my thing. I had, you know, a rotation. So, for 8 months, you know, I moved here and then got right down to business, got on Tinder, got on all these little dating apps, had a roster, you know, and a big roster at this time. I was doing big over here. Yeah, I was doing big over here. So, 8 months go by and I don't know, man. I was just kind of like, I mean, her and I had, I mean, she's one of my direct TAs, so we would talk in class. We would just talk and just, you know, small talk. What are you doing tonight? I'm like, I'm going on a date. Next day, what are you doing? I'm going on a date. What are you doing next day? Seriously.
Are you honest, man?
Yeah. It was honest because, I mean, she was just my TA at the time, you know? And so we ended up going in. I don't even know why I offered to take her to tea and coffee a couple of times, but I offered and she said yeah, and I went, oh shit, really? You know, because TAs just don't do that. You know, they either, you know, they'll either, you know, want to, or, you know, and that's like less than 1%. Trust and believe. Okay. So she said yeah, and I said, all right, cool, then I'll meet you in the morning and, you know, we'll just have some tea. Straight up, that was it. Just friends. Okay. The whole time we went there, there was no inkling that she liked me at all. Nothing.
You never thought maybe?
Not one bit. So a couple months later, we go to have tea again. Or like maybe a few weeks later, we go and have tea and coffee again, different spot, and just kind of hang out and, you know, start talking, you know. And this time we had tea and then we had coffee and then we took it to go, and then we were walking around the lake over there, Hoan Kim Lake. Anyways, and then I just got to start knowing her a little bit more, and then honestly, like it was, I don't know how we started, to be honest, because we just started. I mean, again, Vietnamese women are like, you know, so you can't tell, and so we kind of just went on a date, I think, and I was like, oh, I remember. She said, one day she said, so what are you doing tonight? And I was like, it was a Friday night. And I was like, I don't have anything to do tonight, you know? And this is after months of me being like, I got a date, I got a date, literally every day. Like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was like, date. So she was like, you don't have anything to do? And I was like, nah. And then I was like, what you doing? And then she was like, nothing, like usual. And I went, why don't we go out together? And she went, all right. And then, yeah, one thing led to another. And then I think it was around that time I kind of picked up that she was feeling me a little bit, you know? And yeah, fast forward, we've been dating, it'll be 3 years on the 22nd of July.
Respect, bro.
Yeah, so that's basically how we met. I mean, I kind of lucked up on her. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't tell me anything. You know, I had to read between the lines, and that's what I mean by the good ones. A good one, traditional, will never tell you she's into you. Yeah, never.
I believe that, bro.
Never.
Facts.
Like, it's like, boom.
She will. You got that stiff face.
Yeah. 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 And that's like, that's what I mean by, like, when a Vietnamese woman falls for you, then you better be ready. You better be ready to pick her up.
Because she falls hard.
Because she falls really hard. Yeah. And so that's a beautiful thing. But if you have crazy, then that's not a good thing. You know, luckily my lady is very chill. She was raised by two great parents who are still together. And she has a younger sister, 3 years younger, and they have a really good close family knit, but they're not overly traditional. Okay. You know, which is really, really, really cool, because not a lot of parents, like her parents are like 4 or 5 years and 6 years older than me. So they're in their mid to late 40s. I'm in my early 40s. Right? And so it's cool. We have a really good relationship. I have a really good relationship with her mother. I have a good relationship with her sister. Dad takes some time to come around. But I've met Dad many times, and he's cool. He's not interfering. Okay. So
it's not too much love, but it's not hate either.
Yeah,
he's just chilling.
Yeah, he's like, you're fucking my daughter. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but I treat her well. We don't argue ever. Respect. Ever.
I believe it, bro. Because even me, man, in all the relationships I've ever been in here, it's actually more the Vietnamese girl who's trying to start some shit.
Yeah.
And then they're always shocked. And one of the things consistently Vietnamese girls have always said about dealing with me is, why are you so chill?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's with the foreign guys they've dated or especially with Vietnamese guys they've dated. It's always drama. Like you said, Vietnamese guys are emotional, bro.
Yeah, for
super sensitive.
100%.
But with me, there's just like, damn, why is it so easy with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe you, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what she appreciates about me as well. Is I'm chill. You know, I mean, if I'm stressed, like, this past few months, she saw me stressed for the first time, and it wasn't a good thing. Not that I was stressed and it was a bad thing. It's just that it kind of shocked her, because she was like, "You're always so even keel," you know. But I lost it there for a minute, and I was just kind of like, I was angry. I was just so angry that people could do some stupid shit like that. That I was just kind of like, bruh, what are you talking about, bruh? But I'm always a positive person, man. I'm always really, really. I mean, I've had to be in my life. I've had to be a positive guy. And I always lift everybody else up. And so that's basically what I'm known for, is lifting others up and motivating folk. And I can motivate myself, but sometimes it's nice to have somebody be like, come on,
100%,
you got
bro.
this. Remember who you are, And that's why I shout out to you, Keith, Marquise, is that he is my brother that I grew up with. We went to high school together. And so he's a brother, and he's my brother, and he's recently he's always reminded me, like, remember who you are, man. Don't trip. You got this, but just remember who you are, because sometimes you can get into your head, about a lot of different stuff, and you forget to look back and be like, damn, man, I've come a long way, And so, yeah, I had to remind myself of how far I've actually become. I came, and so, yeah, that's what gives me that fuel, you know what I mean? That fire to be like, you know what, motherfucker, you right. Shit, I'm out here. I'm doing this shit. It's not that, and I used to say a lot back in the day, I try. And I try out of my system.
I did or I did not.
Yeah. I'm doing or I'm done. That's it.
Respect, bro. I fuck with that heavy.
Period. I know things take time, especially with the YouTube thing, getting my face out there. Again, nurturing relationships that I've built here, meeting new people. Man, there's a lot that you do when you move to another country, right? You don't have, and especially the language barrier, you don't have the opportunity or to talk English to most people here. Majority of the time, you're going to be on your own.
Facts.
Majority of the time, you're going to be alone. You're just going to be chilling. You're going to get out there. But again, the Vietnamese people don't speak English. So they're not going to fuck with you. You know what I mean? And majority of the other, expats, they're busy doing their own fucking thing. They're either working, they're doing something. So you always have to... You're always alone. You're always on yourself, So it's like, find a woman who you can grind with that has good family here, right? It's number one. Make sure she have good family, okay? Make sure that you come here with your bread up. That's a big thing, right? If you want to get your bread up, get a job here. Even if you have hella money, right? Still get a job. If you have that luxury, get a job so that you don't have to spend your savings. Simple as that.
Bro, quick question, actually. I just thought about something. When you started getting serious with your lady, how did it go with getting rid of the roster? Was that a conversation you had, or did you just do that on your own in secret?
Getting rid of the
roster.
The roster.
The roster, was that a conversation you had, or did you just do it on your own?
No, I mean, I'm my own man. I'm from California, you know what I mean? That shit's like an IV to us, So, smoking, is that what you're talking about? What are you talking about?
The rotation.
They said Rasta.
Yeah.
My bad. So... No, I got rid of it myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I was done with that.
You just knew she's the one for me.
Yeah.
At what point did you realize, yo, I fuck with this girl heavy?
To be honest, right away.
Okay.
Right away, because I knew that, I knew that she was a solid girl. I had spent 8 months being around her. I saw her with students. I saw her interact. I knew she was she was half and half. Traditional half and modern half.
Bro, I've said this all the time. The best Vietnamese girl is one at her base.
Yeah.
She's a traditional Vietnamese girl, but then on top of that, you add the open mind.
Yeah.
Because I've met girls here who are too open. Like the ones that only
real open.
Or the ones that are just only traditional.
Yeah.
And you can't get close to them for shit.
Yeah.
So I like the ones where they're the hybrid. I like to
for
say
sure.
the hybrid.
100%.
Yeah, she's traditional, but she got the open mind on top. And that's why I agree with you. The
100%.
the best Vietnamese girl I've ever dated is ones where either I'm her first foreigner or at least just number 2.
Yeah. Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, so I'm my lady's first serious relationship.
Okay.
With a foreigner and a brother. She's hooked up with one foreigner, but that's it. And then it was just like gone. And so, but other than that, Yeah, I mean, I'm the first for everything, basically.
Respect.
And so I didn't know how great she was until we started dating. Because to this day, she still goes to church every Sunday.
Okay.
Never misses. She's very, very close to her family. But she's also independent, right? As much as she can be. As much as she can be. And I give her that space, you know? I want her to, like, I'm teaching her how to, one, communicate with the outside world as well as with me, right? I'm also teaching her how to do business because I'm not going to be around forever, you know? And I want her to learn how to do these things if she wants to do that. If that's what she wants to do, cool. But in the beginning, she's got to learn this shit because I don't want, if God forbid anything ever happens to me, I want her to be prepared, right? I don't want her to be like, wait, what was the password? You know? Yeah, and the minute I loved her was how I knew is because I gave her all my passwords, you know? And she hasn't done anything with it, you know? We talked about a lot of stuff when we first started dating, and we continue to talk about things, you know? But real life stuff, like, you know, when do you want kids, right? And, you know, a couple years ago, she told me I at least want to be 24. And a couple years ago, I was like, I don't know if that's going to work for me, you know? Because, you know, at that time I was 39. So I was like, well, I'll be an older dad. But at that point, I was going to be an older dad anyway. So I'm not concerned about that. But I was just kind of like, it was just a thought in my head, you know? And I was just like, I don't know, man, you know? 2 years later, it's like, okay, well, that motherfucking shit's right around the corner, you know what I mean? That shit next year, you know? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to have a kid in 1 more year, you know what I mean? So it's like either we just got to do it and eventually it just happens, or, you know, we ain't never going to have no kids, you know what I mean? Because it's just, you're never going to be ready. Like, okay, maybe 1 more year I'm going to be ready, you know?
100%, bro.
You know,
You're never ready, bro.
Yeah.
You're never really ready.
So, I don't know, man. You know, I really respect her. You know, that's the big thing is that, you know, when I met her, I adored her. Like, I fell in love with her because I adored her. I adored how she treated the children, you know, at work, how she treated people, you know, and then she reminded me of myself, where she has that grit, you know, and you don't see that a lot with Vietnamese women or in general Vietnamese people, you know. So she just, I could see that, you know, and you know I'm looking at everything, you know what I mean. At that time, I was looking at everything, and you know, it's much like my dog, you know. I was looking at every other dog, and then the very last second, they're like, "Well, which one do you want to pick?" And I was like, "That one," you know. And they were like, "Huh?" You know, because I wasn't even looking at my dog, you know, and my dog's black. You know, I was like, hey, you know, I was like, hey, you know, I got to bet on black. You know? She turned out to be the best dog ever, you know, and it was likewise with my lady, is that she turned out to be the best woman ever because she's understanding, and like, she is a writer. She's a writer, you know, with just so many different things, man. I mean, that she's gone through, you know, recently, and just for the last few years with family's issue and stuff. And she's, you know, I look up to her because, you know, I know how Vietnamese people are very save-facey.
Yeah.
They like to save that face, and I hate that shit. But, and she does it too. She does it too. You know, she does it too. But she's gotten out of it because she's getting more out of it, I should say, because I let her know, because I'm not like, well, what the fuck you doing? You know, no, I'm like you. I'm chill, you know. So, you know, again, she can come to me and we can talk about shit, you know, 100%. You know, it's not like he's gonna get mad, you know. No, she just like, so what do you think about this? You know what I mean? And I'm like, go for it.
It's so funny you say that, bro. You know, one of the things I really found super interesting about dating, even with any girl I'm talking to, is just that very thing. Oh, he's not gonna get mad.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest shock with any girl I'm dating is the fact that, yeah, we can just talk about things.
Yeah.
We can just sit down and just have a conversation.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this whole hoopla of it's your fault and I'm angry at you. And it made me think, like, what the fuck kind of relationships happen here,
Yeah.
man? Yeah. But you even see it in school as teachers. Look at the culture of teaching. All the kids are frightened to get things wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they'd rather just not try, not put their hand up.
Yeah.
They get scolded for everything.
Yeah,
so it's just the culture here, man.
100%.
People are just scared to try.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing about being here, is that if you're a go-getter, you know, and you have capital, then you can get shit done.
Word.
You know? And that's the thing that the Vietnamese, I think, love the most about Westerners, and good Westerners, not just any Westerner, that if you can show them the way, meaning have that independence, right? Give them that confidence to speak English and to try, right? They're all about following the leader and not being the leader. They don't know what a leader looks like, right?
Facts, bro.
You know,
100%.
And so, again, like that's why, like, I feel like I'm an ambassador, you know, because, you know, not only am I an ambassador for my people, for us, but for Americans, other U.S. citizens, right? And we're an example. You're an example for your Brits, you know? They look at you and they can't tell. They look at me, they can't tell where we're from unless we open our mouth, right? So we're automatically from Africa. So, you black, you Africa? Africa, okay. You know, like, no, I'm American. They're like, you know? And they're like, and they've told me there are black people in America. And I'm like, yeah, it's not all just white people, you know? And so that's the kind of the idea that Vietnamese have, is that some Vietnamese think that all Americans and all Western people are white.
Yeah.
You know? They couldn't even fathom that we come from there, you know, until we open our mouth. And they're like, oh, you know? Oh, where you from? You know? Like, and that's it, you know? And so overall, I would say my living here is great. Yes, I would love more money. You know, I would love, and when that time does come to where I'm just making money left and right, then it's going to be 1,000 times better.
Oh,
you know?
Facts, bro.
You
You
know?
got money in your pocket living here, life is good, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And so that's why I wish that I did it differently. I wish I knew about this place when I was living in the States, where I was getting my bread up, because I would have come over here, but things would have been completely different. And so, yes, if I could go back, I would plan. I would save up specifically for Vietnam and specifically to start a new life. Like, back then, I was kind of willy-nillying it and just kind of like, you know, loosey-goosey it, you know, just backpacker, okay, I'm traveling the world, okay. What am I doing now? You know what I mean? And so when I'm glad I had to pivot, because it really showed me that I needed some stability. You know, at that time, I needed stability. And then I went to Apex, you know. So, but yeah, it's not easy, man. It's not easy living abroad. It's not easy living abroad. But once you get settled, it's easy. You know?
Respect.
Because you don't have to fuck with Vietnamese people. You really don't. You don't have to fuck with foreign people either. You can do whatever you want.
Bro, this is exactly one of the main reasons why I'm investing so heavily in myself, learning business and doing this whole making money online thing. yeah, I want money, but then I asked myself, why do I want money? And bro, you just said it. One of my main motivations is to not have to fuck with people I don't fuck
Yeah,
with, bro.
yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, having to talk and deal with people who I don't want to, it's one of my main motivations.
Yeah.
So with that said, before we wrap up, bro, I want to ask about your plans for the future. What's your hopes and goals and plans for your channel, your YouTube, other
Sure.
business
Yeah,
ventures?
yeah.
What's the plans for the future, bro?
Man, I mean, plans are just that. It's just a plan, right? It's just a blueprint of what you want, what you hope to get done, right? My plans are to get married.
Okay.
My plan is to start a business within this year. Get that rolling. Get married by the end of the year. You know, which is
I hope I get an invite.
yeah, of course you will. Of course, come on, man. You know
Oh,
what
come
it
on,
is. You
bro.
know what it is. Come on. And then with the channel, man. I mean, I want to hit 10K subscribers by the end of the year.
Respect.
By the end of 2025. I know it's a huge goal, but if I shoot for the stars and I get 7,000, great. You know what I mean? I mean that's 4,000 people right now who rock with me, and I didn't think that was gonna happen so soon either. So, you know, I'm still new to this thing. I'm still new to getting out there, putting myself out there on video, and yeah, I mean, I'm old school, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we back in the day, we didn't have cell phone, you know? So, how do you use this thing, you know? But yeah, man, I really want to help people. I really want to help people move to Vietnam. I really want to become a leader in this space when it comes to the travel space, the black travel space, Vietnam expat space. Like, I want to be their go-to. I have so many people I've networked with here, people I've used personally, you know, as visa agents, lawyers, a tax accountant, drivers, taxi drivers, but personal drivers, homes, your apartment agents, and all that shit. So I got all kinds of resources for your audience and the general public, man. And so, I want to be able to start a black-owned business. I want to be able to empower other brothers and sisters to come here and build. Let's build a community, right? Because the other Africans do, you know what I mean? What about us?
Yeah,
you know,
100%, bro.
like, where is all my people? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so, and I was the first black African American male YouTuber who was making content. I mean, and that was just a year ago.
100, because I didn't see no other black guys online doing YouTube content in Vietnam, bro.
Yeah.
You were the first person I saw.
Yeah. And so, not many people know that, but yeah, I was the first one. And so,
I can verify that, bro.
Yeah.
Before I came here, literally, you were the first one I saw.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, for
but
real.
again, I'm trying to build my brand so that I can throw it out there. Excuse me, I am building my brand. See, I still got that try thing in there.
hear you.
It's been coming back a little bit, and I gotta throw that shit away. You know what I'm saying? But I am building that community, right? It's kind of weird to think because I'm just a regular guy. You know what I mean? But I know that I stand on principle, right? I'll get shit done for you, and not only that, I'll go to bat for you, right? It's like having a liaison here in Vietnam, and someone that you could always call not only your boy, but a true friend. I'm not here to fuck anybody over. I don't believe in that kind of shit, but I believe in building friendships and building relationships. So I just want to build through the YouTube channel, man. It's been really good. People have been rocking with me, which is really cool. Again, going back to the self-doubt stuff. Yeah, COVID kind of brought that stuff back in a little bit, sitting on my butt doing really nothing. Really, well, not nothing, but just sitting on my butt during COVID was detrimental, to my mental health. And so it's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better. You know, post COVID, it's gotten a lot better. Now it's just kind of like I'm like a bear, you know, sneaking out of hibernation. You know what I mean? After the winter time, and it's like it's spring, and I'm like, you know, and so that's what this last 18 months have been. It's like just stretching. You know, I knew nothing about filming. I knew nothing about editing. I knew nothing about content creating, and I just jumped into it because of my lady, actually, because she's the one who had a YouTube channel first.
Okay.
Yeah, and I said, baby, you know, I remember I said, baby, this is the end of 2023, like November. I said, baby, you know, I think I'm gonna start. She was over at my house, and then I went, I think I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And she said, really? She's like this, like, really? And like going like this, and I went, what's wrong with you? You know, you good? And she said, yeah. She said, I think that's great, honey, but I have a YouTube channel. And I said, you have a YouTube channel? Let me see, girl.
Know?
Yeah, no. She had just started it probably like months before, but I mean, she wasn't really doing much with it, you know. But she had a couple videos up there, and she probably had like 6 videos up there. And I went, damn, you know. I said, okay, I said, watch, I'm gonna see what I can do, you know. And I had no expectation, and it started nice, and it's taken. I mean, it's gone like this, like this, like it's gone like this, like this, like this, like this. You know, so it hasn't gone down, which is cool, and it seems like a lot more people are resonating with the content. And I just try to give as best. I just give as best information as I can. You know. And most of the information, if not 99% of it, is all about experience from what I've experienced, as well as from people from expats that I've actually I know. So, yeah, man. I mean, that's the long version of it, but yeah, man, this year is going to be a really good, interesting year, man. These next 2 years, 25 and 6, it's just going to be interesting, man. I'm really looking forward to really opening up, getting to know you better as well. You know what I mean? Let's keep a buck with that. And then just getting to know whatever else happens, man. I mean, the future is bright, I'll be honest. And like it could be bright for everybody involved. You know what I mean? Just if you just support your friends. Support your friends, guys. I mean, I can't tell you guys, just support your friends, man. You don't got to support them financially. If that's something you can do it, man, because even if you can just give them words of encouragement. That for me would have been way more valuable if my friends just said, "Hey, man, I see what you're doing. Keep doing it." You know what I mean?
100%.
Because as a brother, it means more to us because we don't get a lot of support. You know, they look at us as different. You know, they're like, no, I don't trust you. And it's like, until they find out they can trust you, they're like, that's my nigga Cam. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so I see that as well here is that, you know, if you're white, you're right. And, you know, if you're dark, you're wrong. And it's slowly changing. So that's cool. Finally, we can get some recognition.
100%.
You know? Fuck, where's our recognition at, you know?
Yeah,
you know?
we'll get it, bro. 100%,
you know?
We're going to get it, bro.
Got to work harder and harder and harder to get less and less recognition. And I'm cool with that, but, you know, it'd be nice to, you know, get a little bit of pat on the back and say, you're doing great, man.
We're going to get there. You're doing amazing, my bro. Yeah, and again, bro, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out, man. I saw another brother doing his thing. I was completely amazed. And for me personally, I said, this is someone I want to connect with. This is someone I want to build a relationship with. So, bro, I really appreciate you coming. I wish you the best. Definitely, and anything you need from me, you can give me a shout anytime.
100, brother.
Respect. With that said, please tell them what is the name of your YouTube channel. Where can they find you? Yeah,
man. You guys can find me on YouTube. The Story of KT. The Story of KT. My initials. Kevin Thornton.
Perfect. How about Instagram or any other socials you're on?
So all socials are that. The Story of KT. Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I can't believe it.
Me too, bro.
Yeah,
Real quick, someone asked me, "Are you gonna get on TikTok?" And I thought, man, I hate TikTok, but I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
Having to build a brand. Yeah, I swore that I would never get on TikTok.
Oh, bro,
You know what
trust
mean?
me, I know.
I swear. I'm like, hey, how do you use this thing? You know, how do you use this? You know, and so my girl, she showed me how to use TikTok, and I went, man, I don't like this shit. And now I'm like, whoa, you know, and so. But now I mainly just get on TikTok just to post something, and I just leave it alone.
Okay.
I'll watch it a little every once in a while, but I'm still pretty good about it, you know. I'm kind of like, but
That's my biggest fear. I don't want to be a TikTok zombie, bro. When I see everyone out here, just
everybody.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't.
Everybody. So yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram. You can find me The Story of KT. Same with YouTube. And yeah, man, I just appreciate you, Ramel, man. Thanks for the opportunity, brother.
Pleasure. Guys, with that said, another episode of Making It Abroad wrapped up. Guys, you already know my motto. Know yourself, be yourself. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's get it. Peace.